Real Virginia is proudly produced by the Virginia Farm Bureau Federation. Since 1926, Farm Bureau has been working to preserve Virginia farms and our rural heritage. Visit our website at vafb.com.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic to Appalachia, home in my heart always.
Hello everyone and welcome to Real Virginia, a show about Virginia agriculture and the people who produce all of the wonderful local products we enjoy, brought to you by the Virginia Farm Bureau.
The farm-to-school movement is gaining traction in Virginia. Paws are native to the Old Dominion. We'll learn more about this fascinating fruit. And a group of eager college students recently visited a Nelson County farm to learn more about conservation and caring for the land.
Welcome back to Real Virginia, everyone. We're coming to you this week from a farm in Goochland County. And the high school here is one of many across the state that has an active farm-to-school program. This is where they do their best to bring local foods into the school cafeteria.
Every school day, millions of meals are served to children and teachers across the Commonwealth. For decades, almost all that food came from food service companies and brokers who purchased them from large-scale growers, many from out of state. Farm to School is a growing movement to reverse that process by procuring as much locally produced foods as possible for the lunchroom. State education leaders are enthusiastic about the opportunities.
We really want to make that connection between the school cafeteria, the school garden, and the farmers, because we know that making sure that kids have access to good, healthy food, if we can teach them about the importance and the deliciousness of local food, the sustainability that goes with eating regionally, that is really a part of the education as well as helping building a healthy lifestyle for them.
Kerwood says school lunch programs receive federal funding, so unlike the educational budget, most school nutritionists have more flexibility in paying for locally sourced foods. And there's been a major push to improve the nutrition of school lunches in the past decade. A 2018 survey by the Virginia Department of Education found that 75% of Virginia school systems are making efforts to buy some of their food from local producers. That's an increase from the 64% participating in Farm to School in the previous year. Many Virginia growers, like Henry Chiles of Albemarle County, are eager to serve this growing market.
We're proud of our product, and we want it to get Virginia residents, our future Virginia buyers, to buy our apples so they'll keep on. When they get out of school, we hope they'll keep on buying Virginia apples. And right now, local produce is an important thing in the produce industry, and we support that. And it's a good part of our business, and we want to increase our sales. And we call local produce anything in the state, so the schools fit right in the mold of what we're trying to do.
Nearby farmers are not the only ones providing local food. Many high school students in places like Goochland are growing their own produce for use in their cafeteria. Hydroponic vegetable systems and greenhouses are popular options in many vocational agriculture educational programs. The students get hands-on experience in raising food, and their classmates get fresh food.
So what we've been doing the past few years is we've built 2 different hydroponic systems. This one specifically we used to grow the lettuce, and we've grown green beans and a few other things in it. But each time we grow it, each time we cut it all down and we take it up to the cafeteria, and the same day it's used as for our salad bar. We have a salad bar. And we also, in the back on our other hydroponic system, we use to grow tomatoes, and those are also most of the time taken up to the cafeteria to use on the fresh salad bar as well.
The most popular local foods served in schools in 2018 were milk, apples, strawberries, lettuce and salad greens, tomatoes, watermelon, and beef. The challenge many school systems face is finding ways to provide the large quantities of locally produced foods that are needed to supply hundreds of servings 5 days a week. But Kerwood says the real challenge is often just coordinating the delivery of local foods. And food service workers often need more training to prepare and cook foods that have not been pre-processed.
I think we probably did a much better job of it 50 years ago than we are doing now. And so I think our opportunity is really to revisit some of the things that worked really well in the past. I think people are really thinking more locally about investing their dollars in their communities. That develops a tax base that supports, all the work that we're doing. So I think it's really kind of going back to what we did better before. when you had to get food from where you lived.
With all the fresh things that come in, like the lettuce and the tomatoes, we know where they come from, so it makes us feel better about eating them. And so I think personally it'd be better for the school system if we had more locally grown stuff. So the farmers know where their products are going, and we know where our food is coming from.
It showcases the talent that we have in Goochland, the farms that we have, and then it also lets people taste different, how the food should taste and how it's better than just straight off a frozen truck.
The Virginia Farm Bureau Federation is one of several farm groups who support expanding these programs. A statewide farm-to-school conference is set for March 14th in Hampton, and regional farm-to-school network meetings in April and May this year will allow growers and school nutritionists to connect and continue to grow opportunities to serve more food fresh from the farm.
Virginia was one of the first states to establish a farm-to-school task force in 2007. The first Farm-to-School Week event was held in 2009, and it continues to be held every October to coincide with National Farm-to-School Week. In the 2016 to 2017 school year, the total amount spent on Virginia-sourced foods for school cafeterias was $15.4 million, roughly double the $7.78 million spent only 3 years before. And the program keeps growing. The Virginia Farm-to-School Network allows school systems to connect with growers willing to sell directly to them.
Hi, today we're going to be talking about Paws from the ground up. Please stay tuned.
Farm Bureau is the insurance provider of choice for farmers. But did you know all Virginians can benefit? In fact, most of our members are not farmers. As a member, you are supporting worthy causes like local Virginia food banks and the Ag in the Classroom program. Your $40 membership will easily pay for itself with the many savings options as well. Farm Bureau is made for Virginians. To learn more about the membership advantage, go to vafb.com or visit your local Farm Bureau.
Native Americans ate pawpaws long before Virginia was an English colony. Chris Mullins with Virginia Cooperative Extension learns how to grow this historic and unique fruit from the ground up.
Well, hi and welcome. Today we're in Chesterfield County, Virginia, and we're going to be talking about pawpaws. We're here with Dr. Reza Rafi. He's a professor and extension specialist at Virginia State University. Reza, thank you for letting us come out today and talk about these pawpaws. What have you got here?
This is actually pawpaw. Is the largest American fruit that grows actually native to America. And believe it or not, it's grown along the side of the riverbanks. And our own riverbanks in the James River, you could go in there and find pawpaw trees and pawpaw fruits. So it's under stories, it's in the forest, and quite available from July to September.
So a native plant, and this is the fruit. And let's see, is that what it looks like?
This is the fruit actually, and that's the cut fruit in different colors that I brought to you so you could taste it.
I can taste it?
Yes,
all right, well
absolutely.
let's give it a try here. This looks delicious. Oh wow, that's really good.
Yes.
That's very sweet, really creamy.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
Chris, as you know, that I work and used to live in the tropics, and when I came to Virginia and I learned about this fruit, I was really surprised how similar this is to the tropical fruits. Then later on, I learned actually this is the cousin of the custard apple family that are mostly grown in the tropical. And if you probably remember Atamaya, Cherimoya, and custard apple, those are tropical fruit that are grown in there. And this is the cousin of that. And I was really surprised what this fruit is doing in Virginia and in the east coast of the United States. And actually it's a fruit that can be grown from zone 5 all the way to zone 8. It's just incredible versatility that it has to be grown in different environments.
Well, that is great. So for the homeowner, the gardener, somebody that would want to put this in their landscape, is that a good idea?
Absolutely. It is a great idea, but you got to be careful. You plant them in the rich, deep soil, and the pH between 5.5 to 7. That's appropriate pH. And you got to plant 2 different varieties. You make sure, because there is a problem with pollination. So when the female and male plant units on the same flowers, when they don't ripe at the same time for the pollination. So you need to have more than one varieties to be able to really pollinate. And pollination is not done by bees. Actually, it's done by by beetles, which is,
Oh.
and a lot of pawpaw lovers, they do hand pollinate their fruit.
And they're actually beautiful trees. I mean, they're really nice. They would go well in the landscape. And so I like the idea of having the right variety. Can we go see some of the varieties that you're growing at Virginia State's Randolph Farm and see what they look like?
Sure, we'll be more than happy to do that.
Great. Well, Reza, we're here at VSU's research farm, and I see you've got lots of pawpaws growing. What are you doing here with them?
Well, actually, Virginia State University has recognized the potential of this fruit. This is a fruit that is extremely perishable.
Okay.
So it's not a fruit that can be shipped from East Coast to West Coast, but incredible potential for local market. We have recognized that and we are promoting it for the local production and local market. So we have set up at our Randolph Farm a variety trial of different newly developed varieties, pawpaw varieties. We have 10 different varieties in here, but something that I wanted to quickly point out, the young plants, because they are under stories in the forest, therefore when we plant them outside that environment, we provide artificial shade. You can see that some of the plants have that plastic over them. That's simply to provide that shade for the first couple of years, and then after that you remove it and plants grows nicely.
Very good. Well, this is great work you're doing here. Really appreciate you letting us come out today and see what you're doing with pawpaws.
Sure. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Good. Well, for more information about pawpaws, contact your local county extension office and talk to a master gardener. From the Ground Up, I'm Chris Mullins. We'll see you next time.
From the Ground Up is presented with the generous advice and assistance of Virginia Cooperative Extension. Visit their website at ext.vt.edu.
This week, Virginia potatoes are in the heart of a unique fried treat recipe from Chef John Maxwell in the heart of the home. Stay with us.
And now, a sneak peek into a day in the life of a Virginia dairy cow. They get their day started. They have some lunch. Get some exercise. Spend time with their friends. And then end their day with dairy sweet dreams. Real dairy, real life, real delicious.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our determination, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
You can use Virginia potatoes in literally thousands of recipes. Chef John Maxwell shares a delicious favorite dish of his, pierogies, in the heart of the home.
Hi, I'm Chef John Maxwell, and we're here at Meadow Hall and Meadow Event Park in Doswell, Virginia, where every week we get a chance to play with some great Virginia food. Today, we're going to focus on some potatoes from the Eastern Shore, and we're going to add a lot of other ingredients in it to make a Ukrainian dish called Pirogie. So I've got the pie dough already rolled out, and this is a pretty standard pie dough. It's the same one we've used for apple pie and for other things. It needs to be a little egg enriched, however, so it'll hold up in the heat. We're going to fry this pie. All right, so I've got the dough rolled out, all right, and I'm going to put a little bit of beaten egg around the outside of it, right, so it'll seal good. Otherwise, when we're frying it, it'll pop open. So we just use a little bit of egg down there and get this out of the way. All right. Now we're going to add the fillings, and it's going to be some kielbasa sausage, some sauerkraut, some of those golden potatoes, and I have a little bit of it mixed already together right here, so I'm going to go right into the center of this with this mix. And we fold it over. I'm going to fold it to me, line up the edges, and push this down. Now, in order to be a good pierogi, it's got to have a crimped edge. So we're going to go around it. Right. Just any old fork will work, but this helps seal it. It pushes the dough from the top down into the dough on the bottom end and uses the egg mix itself as kind of a glue. So now we're going to cut this. in close so we don't have a lot of extra dough hanging around. Let's see, get that out of the way. Okay, and this is the Pirogie. Now I'm going to turn this on and I've got some butter in here with a little bit of olive oil. Olive oil will lower the smoking point, or raise the smoking point a little bit, so we won't burn the butter. All right, so I can hear it. You can hear the butter singing to me. It's telling me that it's ready. It needs some food, so in goes the Pirogie. Now this is going to take a couple of minutes on each side. All right, you're going to brown it on one side, turn it over, brown it on the other side. All right, this looks good. So I'm going to pull it off and let it set to the side. I'm going to put another pan on here with some more butter, all right, and start some onions. All right, now I've already taken this out of the pan. It's cooked all the way through. All of the ingredients that went into this are fully cooked. So you just have to get it hot in the center, and it's plenty hot for that. Now I've got getting ready for the garnish now, what we're going to serve it with. So I've got the onions in there, right, and I've got some sour cream here. I want this to just kind of cook down a little bit. These onions are pretty much done. They're getting a little color to them now. I don't want them to overcook. We'll let them go just a little bit longer. All right, we're going to get ready to garnish this Pirogie. All right, so we'll take some of the onion. And of course, this is however much you want of it. So I'm just going to let that come off of this end and come down a little bit onto the plate. And that will go on top. And this is a classic Ukrainian approach to an old Russian recipe for Pirogie. Now, I'm going to cut it just a little bit. We can see the sauerkraut and the sausage. It's a nice color in there. Wonderful for lunch. So join us next week on Heart of the Home, where we get to play with great Virginia food.
Recipes from the Heart of the Home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafb.com, as well as on Chef Maxwell's website at chefjohnmaxwell.com.
Potatoes are a summertime pleasure in Virginia. Planted early in the spring, most fresh potatoes are harvested for sale in fresh markets early in the summer. Potatoes are grown on 5,000 acres on 762 farms across the Old Dominion, but are particularly popular with farmers on the Eastern Shore, where the rich sandy soil is perfect for raising them. Virginia potatoes have a marketing advantage in the middle of the summer. For several weeks, they're the only fresh potatoes available as the harvest season moves up the East Coast. In 2017, Virginia growers sold almost $19.5 million worth of potatoes.
Modern farming is a complex and expensive business. Dave Miller reports that's one of the lessons learned by students from Sweetbriar College when they toured a Nelson County livestock and timber farm.
Nelson County farmer Mark Campbell had special visitors last month. 17 students and their professor stopped by to tour the farm and learn what Campbell has been doing to protect the environment while caring for his cattle and sheep. He started the tour by explaining how he uses best management practices to protect streams and water quality.
We came back 35 feet from the stream bank to fence the cattle out. And of course, when you do that, then you have to provide an alternative water source. So we had to drill a well over here.
Campbell is also a district field service director for the Virginia Farm Bureau, so he's familiar with local, state, and federal conservation programs available to all farmers. His farm was honored with a Clean Water Award for the James River watershed in 2016. Since these were college students, he provided background on how conservation practices like his are actually implemented.
Part of what's appropriated at the state and national levels is cost share funds for water quality, and so those departments or agencies do provide some reimbursement to the farmers for doing that, because some of these can be pretty expensive. The last one we did, which finished up our farm, of all the stream exclusion, was over $50,000. So that's a big chunk, and that was a small one. You know, there's other projects on other farms that are way more, 2 to 3 times that.
From the streams on his pastures, Campbell brought his visitors to nearby high pasture, where they were able to see his Sim-Angus and Simmental cattle breeds up close. He talked about how he planted 55 acres of loblolly pine recently to make use of land that's too steep for anything else. He explained how he uses herbicides to protect his grasslands and why farmers need to make every part of their operation profitable, if possible.
I was not aware of all the things that were required of farmers to properly conserve the areas that they currently farm on. I was, however, very pleased with all the stuff that is currently being placed actively on the farm that he has, from the buffers with the streams and how he's healthily protecting the grass and using the pine trees on his farm, as well as the sheep and the cattle.
The final stop on the tour was the sheep barn, where Campbell and his children breed and show lambs for 4-H projects and to sell. Throughout the tour, he answered questions about what it's like to truly run a modern small farm. One student asked how many corporate farms are in Virginia, and he explained that term has been given a negative image with the public. In reality, most of Virginia's farms are owned by families, not major businesses.
It was an excellent opportunity to tell the students that anyone, even like myself and my family, could become a corporation for either estate planning purposes or accounting purposes or liability purposes or whatever the purpose, that even a small family farm could become a corporation, and that 98% are family-owned farms, but many are incorporated for various reasons.
He basically touched on a lot of things that we learned in class, and coming from a horse family background, there was a lot of stuff that I already knew, but the struggle of farming was something that I didn't really have a clear grasp on until I actually got down here. The understanding of balancing nitrogen in the soil, the whole science behind farming is something that just is mind-blowing.
The tour took almost 3 hours out of Campbell's busy day, time he could have used for other projects or to prepare for an upcoming night meeting, but he felt it was worth it.
I think anytime we have non-farming public that reaches out to the ag community to learn more about agriculture, if we can be available and answer questions and present information to them, I think that's an opportunity we should take advantage of.
In today's culture of social media and smartphones, the tour gave these college students a chance to learn about farming firsthand. Campbell said the students were grateful and took plenty of notes for their environmental science class. Reporting from Nelson County, I'm Dave Miller.
We are glad you could join us this week to celebrate all the bounty that Virginia has to offer. From your kitchen to your home and garden to our wide open spaces, we're proud to say that this is real Virginia. So for everyone from the Virginia Farm Bureau, thanks for watching and make it a great week.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay.